Hey Jar friends, Jade here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here today to do, it's not a VR actually, but this was inspired by some of the other VRs that I have just filmed, which were my favorite majors. And the second one was my favorite core cards. And as I was going through picking cards for those things, I found some other cards that I really enjoyed. That were just from the minors. So I thought I would just quickly go through it. There's not a ton, got a little stack here, but I'm just gonna go quickly through and talk about why I love these cards. As with my other two videos, this is not all my decks. This is just cards from my Halloween season decks, which I've pulled, which I have just over here. Yeah, so I may repeat some of these videos in another season, just because it was actually really fun to go through these. Okay, so let's gonna move on. The first card, these are not in order. I'm just gonna talk about them as I come across them. So the first one I have is the Eight of Swords. This is from the Anna K Tarot, and I love this card because well, you can see, like, outwardly, you know, physically she's not restrained, but inwardly she's stuck. And how many times have I been in this situation where you just don't know what to do? Like, you feel like there's no option to free yourself. There's no option to move forward that will not result in catastrophe of one type or another. And this also speaks to me about, you know, mental anguish, mental health issues. You know, like, we don't always know what people are going through, right? And so a little bit of grace is often is warranted. A little bit of kindness, I think, is important. All right, the next one, Four of Pentacles from the Zombie Tarot. I love this because this one speaks to the greed aspect of the Four of Pentacles, right? Or in this case, the Four of Hazards. He's got all the supplies. During a zombie apocalypse, he's got all the supplies. Food, axes, guns, whatever, medical supplies. There are other humans out there that are, like, dying to get in, and he's got his fingers stuck in his ears so that he doesn't have to listen to them. Nope, nope, nope. This is all mine, all mine, all mine. So I love that one. I love this one. This is the Two of Cups from the Santa Muerte Tarot. I love this image. I love this image so much. Like, the Two of Cups for me is about true love, right? Like, the lovers. So if you don't listen to the Card Slingers podcast with Melissa Sonova and Jamie Elford, and I'm totally blanking, sorry. Anyways, they talked about the Lovers card, and Melissa just made me laugh. She's so freaking funny. But she says, you know, the Lovers card comes up, and that's like a hubba hubba, ooh, 60 times card, right? Like, that's like, there's a fire in my pants card. Whereas the Two of Cups, like, if you're in a romance, if you're doing a relationship reading for romance, this is the card you want to see come up, not the Lover's card. The Lover's card is the Mr. Right now. Let's have some sexy times. But here, look, like, there are two cups filling one another, right? And their hearts are beating. Like, this is everlasting true love. I just find that beautiful. Also from the Santa Muerte is the Two of Pentacles. And look, they're two They're two halves of a butterfly. Just also speaks to me about love and choosing one another. Also from the Santa Marta Tarot, I'm going to switch the order of these. We have the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords, so is this skeleton sitting in the edge there. He's exhausted. He just wants to give up, right? He's like, should I give up? Should I continue? Should I just like lay back down and close the lid, or continue the fight? And it says hope and reflection on the lid of the coffin. So perhaps he's going to decide he's just mustering his resources and going to continue. This is from the Triumph of Life Tarot, which is the Ten of Wands. And I love this card because this person has traveled such a long way and they're not giving up. Yeah, it's a heavy load, but the sun is shining. They'll keep going until they get to their distant destination. That's just determination, perseverance, experience. All right. The Five of Swords from Santa Marta, I love. Because this one is not about defeat, right? Like, yeah, there's a lot of swords coming at them, but she has somebody behind her she has somebody who has her back. So she's not facing it alone. They're facing it together, and they stand a chance together. The Ace of Wands from the Triumph of Life Tarot. So Triumph of Life Tarot, so I do have a walkthrough of this deck, and this deck was created by Andrew McGregor and others. It is a collab deck, so there's about 76 or 78 different artists. I think there's one or two artists that repeated cards, but the proceeds of this went to the Cancer Foundation, Terry Fox Foundation, I believe. And it is a fabulous deck. It is amazing. You can get it on Gamecrafter. I highly recommend it. So this is the Ace of Wands, and it says out of darkness light. So this deck was so all of the initials, if you haven't watched my walkthrough, all of the initials on the back are people who have gone through and likely lost their fights with cancer. And so every card was dedicated to a particular person. So anyway, that's why there is this caduceus with the fire, right? The fight against cancer is not over by any stretch of the imagination. From the same deck, we have the Six of Cups. And I love this again because, it's just one person supporting the other through all the emotional trauma. But the sun is rising, and, we'll get through it. We'll get through it together, regardless of what happens. The Eight of Pentacles from the Dark Mansion Tarot. I love this because it just speaks of, hard work and dedication and trial and experimentation and not giving up. The Nine of Wands. This just makes me think of Gandalf. Thou shalt not pass. Yeah, he's not giving up. He's determined. Like we've almost won. There's no way you're winning this land. The Nine of Swords. So going back to the mental anguish, right? That anxiety is in our head. Usually what's real is much smaller. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's worse. But it's not good. And also from the Dark Mansion, I have a couple more cards. Is the Three of Swords. This is one of my favorite Three of Swords cards. And the reason is that the Three of Swords doesn't have to be about anguish, heartbreak. The Three of Swords can be, you know, feelings of sadness for the past, deep nostalgia. The Three of Swords is me thinking about my dad dying of cancer. You know, it didn't happen recently, but that doesn't make the sadness any less. It doesn't have to be, you know, somebody dying or just something soul crushing right now. The Six of Wands. I love this card because unlike in the RWS where it's like some dude writing back from a battle, it's actually just a celebration. So I love that. And the Two of Wands from the same deck. I love this card because much like the Two of Pentacles, where the Two of Pentacles is often seen as the juggler, you know, she's making plans and she's going to have to stick to one of them at some point, just make the leap and choose one. And who knows what'll happen when she chooses that one. It might be the wrong one. She's got a 50-50 chance. The Eight of Cups, you know, just a typical RWS. I'm walking away. Maybe she's been dropped off, or maybe she's seen somebody off and now she's walking away. But either way, you know, the moon is full. This is no longer serving me. I'm gonna go and start new. The Ten of Wands from the Mary L. Tarot I love because like the other Ten of Wands that I showed, this is not, you know, it's not about exhaustion. This is about, hey, I kicked ass. I did what I needed to do. I completed my quest. The Nine of Wands is very similar. Like, it's that final push. This is also from the Mary L. Tarot. That final push, we're exhausted, yeah, but we still have that ferociousness. We're almost there. It's just get to that last bit. This one is also from the Mary L. Tarot. It's the Strength card. And this should have gone in my favorite majors, but you know, inner strength sometimes means praying to a higher self, to the divine, whatever you believe in, for that extra inner strength, the ability to persevere and keep going. All right, the Seven of Cups from the Bohemian Gothic, I just love because, like, oh my God, she looks so self-satisfied, doesn't she? She's like, this is the life. I love it so much. I'm so happy. It's like a cat with a saucer of milk. The Everyday Witch Tarot, the Eight of Wands, just, she's worried, things are happening, there's a tornado behind her, and everything is just flying too fast. The Five of Wands from the same deck, I love because it just gives that whole, like, it's not physical fighting, right? This could be just arguing about the best way to cook that soup, but while they're arguing, nobody's paying attention to the fact that things are bubbling over and things are catching fire and they're in danger. They can be in danger. So I love that aspect. From the Tarot de l'Ennemi, we have the Six of Cups. And this is all about nostalgia to me. Right? Just thinking about the past. And sometimes when you go back, things are not the same. Usually things are not the same. Things are different. The place hasn't necessarily changed, but you certainly have, which changes your perspective. All right, and from the same deck, Tarot de l'Ennemi, the Five of Wands. I love this card as well. So it's just people not, you know, they're on the same bridge. You can see the different tones. This is more the black and white, and then a different tone there. They're on the same bridge, but they're not hearing each other. They're not seeing each other. And it's just total despair. And the last one is the Three of Wands. It's very RWS. This is from the Bohemian Gothic. It was very RWS inspired. She's looking out, you know, in the RWS deck, the guy's looking out over the harbor or whatever at his ships, waiting for them to come in, possibly, or well, I guess they could be going out, and they might not. There's no guarantee that they will come back. And she's doing the same. She's clearly waiting for someone. So that's it. That's my favorite cards from my Halloween decks. I hope you've enjoyed. Let me know what your favorite cards are, and I would love to hear. Leave me a comment down below, or if you've done a VR, let me know. I think there is actually a tag for this. I'll put it. Well, you'll see it in the description, anyways. But there's my cards. Some, you know, perhaps unusual unusual favorite cards, but I really those are the ones that I really like. As I said, this is just for my Halloween season decks. I may repeat this in a future season when I swap out my decks, perhaps. But anyway, until the next time, if you're still here, thank you so much. And do hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Talk to you soon. Bye.